Conservative new media viewers, JLin fans around the world, Charlotte Hornets fans around the world. What's up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to discuss Charlotte's 105-100 victory tonight over the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn, New York City. Woo! This was a terrific win, particularly coming as it did on the night after Charlotte beat the San Antonio Spurs in Charlotte, North Carolina. So they had to get over that win, take the plane, get into Brooklyn, and play tonight. And so it was a very good and impressive win. And look, Charlotte is 11 games over 500. They have now won 19 of their last 24 games. They're just rolling right now. They played tonight without Marvin Williams, who missed a game because of a sprained left ankle. And everything's going well for them right now. They're confident. They're playing as a unified team. They're just... Things are really starting to click in for them tonight, and it's good to see that. Why did they win tonight's game? They won because they jumped out on Brooklyn early. They were up 25-14 after the first quarter, so an 11-point lead there. Brooklyn won the next 3 quarters of the game, but they just couldn't get close enough. They did not win the fourth quarter. Actually, Charlotte won that quarter by 2 points. Charlotte is... They're getting more to the point now where they can they know they're good. They know they can turn it on and turn up the intensity and the level when they need to. And it's becoming that way on both sides of the ball. What was really interesting in tonight's game was you just realized how much offensive ability this team has. And I'll talk about that more a little bit in a bit. I mean, JLin early in the fourth quarter was just dominating everything and doing it really well. And then a little bit later, Al Jefferson started to dominate. And then Nick Batum started to dominate. So it's like these guys, they have tremendous amount of firepower. And when they're playing in a disciplined, focused groove, they're extremely difficult to stop. Look, they've beaten all the top teams this year except for Golden State. They've beaten the Spurs. They've beaten the Cavs. I mean, I can't remember if we've beaten OKC and Toronto this year, but certainly the Hornets have the ability to beat anybody. I mean, they've shown that. And it's getting clearer and clearer just night in and night out. Statistics very quickly here. The Nets were led by Brook Lopez, 29 points, 9 rebounds. Bogdanovic, 20 points himself, and Kilpatrick off the bench, 25 points for the Nets. He had an excellent game. I think Jeremy was matched up on him for some period of the game. The Hornets were led by Nick Batum with 23 points, and a substantial number of those points came in the fourth quarter, when Nick really kind of fired it up in the fourth quarter. There were 5 Hornets players in double-figure scoring. And as I mentioned, Marvin Williams could have been among them, but he didn't play tonight, so that's another potent weapon who wasn't even on the court tonight. JLin, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Jeremy played 30 minutes, shot 8 of 12 from the field, including 1 of 2 from three-point range, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 1 steal, no block shots, 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, and I think Jeremy's plus-minus was a minus 11, even though it doesn't say so here. Let me calculate Jeremy's efficiency quickly in my head. Yeah, his efficiency was 20 in 30 minutes, and that means his PER will be going up again tonight. Look, Jeremy, this is now back-to-back 20-point games on back-to-back nights. In the last 3 games, he scored 16 points, 29 points, and 21 points. So his 3-game average is over 20 points, I believe. He's out of whatever offensive slump that he may have been in prior to the Denver game. I thought that in the San Antonio game, it was about the most relaxed I've seen Jeremy play in a game in a very long time. Tonight, he was really good, and then in the fourth quarter at the start, he just totally took over the game. And I won't do a full quarter by quarter, but we'll go over that little portion of time. I think Jeremy is feeling good about his offensive ability right now. He's shooting the ball well. Maybe the shooting form is starting to kind of kick into place now. So things are looking good for him. And look, Jeremy's a leader. I think Kemba has been having a somewhat of a difficult time shooting the ball lately. I think right at the end of the third quarter, maybe Kemba missed a shot or something, and it looked like Jeremy went over to him to kind of pump him up. And I just think this is a great situation in terms of the character of the team, the coaches, for Jeremy to really shine. And I think what might be beginning to happen right now is that Jeremy, it's almost like he's hung in there all season, despite his offensive struggles, despite the shooting troubles. And I think it's like, he knows the team likes him. He likes the coaches, I believe. And it's kind of like now he's starting to work through that. And all of the doubts and the whatever you want to say, the difficult times with the shooting, it's like I think Jeremy may have convinced himself and gotten himself to the place mentally where it's like he feels like he can kind of break out of it for good. It's like sometimes, look, Jeremy's had such a difficult time the last 3 years. Issues with teammates, issues with coaches, and so forth. You need to feel wanted. You have to feel like you're important in that you kind of have a little bit of breathing room to kind of do your thing. And that's kind of how I look at this little slump period that Jeremy went through. It's almost like, well, yeah, even if I don't play perfectly, even if I don't shoot the ball great, I'm still an important part of this team. I still like this team. The team still likes me. And so it's kind of like there's a cushion now. And maybe feeling that cushion can help JLin to leave this slump and shooting issues behind for good. That's one reason why it's so important to be on a team like this. The last 3 years really took a lot out of Jeremy from my perspective. It's just draining. And no matter how disciplined and positive and upbeat you are, it just wears you down. And now he's in the opposite type of a situation. Sure, he wants to start, and he wants to be on the game finishing, and he's not in control of every single thing, but it's just so much more pleasant of an experience. And I think that all of that, the residue from that, the positive residue, is culminating for JLin right now. I think that's what we're starting to see, where he's now in a situation where he can flourish like this. The setup was there for him to flourish and to allow him to work through some of the shooting struggles. And now it's starting to come together. And once it comes together completely, and that the shooting motion he's comfortable with it, and he's in his groove, and he's in his rhythm, then you're going to see more of what happened the last couple of games. And it's very encouraging if you're a JLin fan. All right, let's talk about the fourth quarter quickly. As we began the fourth quarter, the score was 67-64 in favor of the Hornets. Jeremy had come into the game with about 4.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. When he came in, Charlotte was up by 13 points. And then so the Nets made a run to end the third quarter, and now Charlotte led by just 3 points as we got going here in the fourth quarter. Okay? I believe at the start of the fourth quarter, Jeremy was guarding Shane Larkin. Shane Larkin is one of these small guards, very quick, very fast, that sometimes Jeremy has issues with. And Shane Larkin got by Jeremy on a drive, but then right after that, Jeremy came right back on him, scored his own basket. I think it was a layup, although I didn't get to see it. But whatever it was either a layup or a short shot. He came right back. Then after that, Jeremy got fouled on a play. No shots on the foul, but he started to draw fouls. He drew at least 4 fouls in the quarter, which we've talked about before is a real skill of Jeremy's and is important for the team so that they can get into the bonus. Then Jeremy almost had a turnover, but it did not become a turnover. Then he scored again for the second time in the quarter. This was a give-and-go play with Al Jefferson, where Jeremy passes Al the ball, and then you see Jeremy kind of run close to Al Jefferson towards the basket. And so what that does is it gives Al the option of giving the ball back to JLin, so that JLin has a shot right around the hoop. Well, this one, Al gave the ball back to Jeremy, and Jeremy scored it. And that play is becoming pretty effective for Charlotte. Quite effective. And this is definitely the best that JLin has been playing without the ball in his career. This season is the best that he's played without the ball in his career. And it's the improvement that he's made in that aspect of his game is really, it's great to see, and it's going to help him a lot down the line in terms of being able to score, like on plays with Al Jefferson right there. The things that Jeremy needed to improve so his offense could be complete was shooting the ball from long distance, which he's working on, and playing off the ball. Well, the off the ball's gone up considerably. The shooting's on its way, so he's just getting better and better all the time. Okay. Soon after the play with Al Jefferson, then Jeremy had a pass to Jeremy Lamb for a made three-pointer. And then I made the note that says, Linsanity takeover. After that play, then Jeremy made one of these hockey assists. He passed the ball to Spencer Hawes, who then passed the ball to Al Jefferson for a layup. That made the score 76-70 Charlotte. Brooklyn took a timeout, and there were 9 minutes and 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So in this period so far, Charlotte had scored 9 points, and all 9 of them came directly from JLin. 4 of the points he scored himself on baskets. 1 was an assist to Jeremy Lamb for a made three-pointer, so that's 7 points. And then the other 2 points came from Jeremy passing the ball to Spencer Hawes, who then made an easy pass to Al Jefferson. So Jeremy was in complete command right now. He knew it, team knew it, and the Nets knew it. And I made the comment on Twitter just before I started making this video. Jeremy has really gotten better at being able to kind of turn Linsanity mode on and off. And that's very important to be able to do that. What that means is he can kick it into gear whenever he wants, but he can also shut it down when he wants. And that's important because when you're on a team with as many offensive talents as Charlotte has, you do need to be able to back off and be able to just be part of the machine. And Jeremy's gotten a lot better at that. And that's something he wasn't always good at that. This is what I've talked about in the past, saying that Jeremy likes to play Jer ball, which is attack, aggressive, pick and roll, and basically Jeremy's dominating the ball, it's great. But you do need to be able to play in different styles. And now Jeremy's getting better and better at being able to play at those different styles. And the more able he is to turn it on and off, the quicker he'll be able to find his rhythm in games. Jeremy's a rhythm player. He needs time out on the court. He needs to get shots so he can get into a rhythm, and he needs minutes. And so it's like, but he's just getting better with it. And that means that it's just he can do his thing faster. He can get into his rhythm quicker. And also he can back off of it quicker, which means that you can let your teammates do things too. So we took the timeout, 76-70 for Charlotte. Okay, then he had another around, basically a hockey assist opportunity where he drove and then he passed the ball and then someone else passed it to someone wide open. That shot was missed, or else it would have been another basket, basically attributed to JLin. Then got fouled on another give-and-go play without Jefferson. Made one free throw, missed the other one. And then he hit another shot. He hit a long two-pointer with his foot on the line. He came down in transition. It was about 15 degrees right at the top of the arc with a foot on the line and hit a long two-pointer. That made the score 79-70. And once again, Brooklyn took a timeout. So now there had been 12 points scored in the quarter by Charlotte, and JLin was essentially accountable for all of them. So this was, like I said, this was complete domination, just total domination. He was doing exactly what he wanted to do. He was just had full flow and was in command. Now, soon after that timeout, Jeremy was fouled again, and after he got fouled, he then had his second and final turnover of the game. Okay? Right about at that period of time. And the score at that time was 79-72, I believe, for the Hornets. Then Jeremy made a decision, or the coaching staff helped him make the decision, where it's like, okay, all right, now back off. Now you unrolled insanity for the first 5 or 6 minutes of this quarter. Now let's back it off and start working the ball around. And Jeremy did it. Pretty soon, Kemba Walker got fouled, and he would go to the free throw line and I think hit 1 or 2 free throws. Then they started going to Al Jefferson down in the low post against Brook Lopez, and Al was just couldn't miss, basically. So post up, Al scores. Post up, Al scores. Post up, Al scores. And then we started going from there. Then Nick Batum heated up, and he started carrying the Hornets from that point on. At this point in time, again, Jeremy's just backing off, but he's playing good defense, and he's there. He's a threat because what he did at the beginning of the quarter, Brooklyn knows he can do again when he wants to do it, so they have to pay attention to him. That makes it easier for Jeremy's teammates. Finally, I'll just mention that Steve Clifford left JLin in this game. Okay, so JLin finished out this game the same way that he finished out the game last night against San Antonio, where it's almost dead even now in how many games JLin has finished and how many games Courtney Lee has finished since Courtney Lee arrived on the team. Obviously, as I said, JLin finished the last 2 games for the Hornets, and both of them were victories. So that's it. That's kind of the summary of what happened here. I definitely would recommend you watch this game if you can. You certainly want to see the fourth quarter. Look, we try not to get too high. We try not to get too low. Jeremy is rolling right now. And I know talking with people on Twitter a week and a half ago, everybody thought he was like falling apart. This is how it goes during a long season. But to be fair, Jeremy's definitely on the upswing here. His offensive game is coming around. The shooting is locking in. He looks extremely relaxed. Clifford's going with him, which is certainly to the benefit of the team right now. And I mean, everything's coming together right now. The team is playing great. JLin is regaining his offensive footing right now. And it couldn't be any better. I mean, this is just, hopefully Jeremy can kind of just continue this level of performance as we go into the last 10 or so games of the season and we head into the playoffs. But, I mean, the team is like, it's like a game out or so, or half a game out of the third seed in the East. I mean, they're playing incredibly well. There's nothing negative to say. Everything's going well for the team. Probably the toughest part for the team in the remainder of the season right now is that they have more games on the road than at home. But now all of a sudden they play great on the road too. So it's like that isn't even that big of a deal. All right. So everything that can be going right is. Hopefully the team will get healthy. Speaking of that, Spencer Hawes was back tonight for the first time in a long time. Hopefully Marvin Williams' ankle isn't too bad and that he can get back in the mix soon. The team is now 14-19 on the road, which is remarkable given how poor they were in playing on the road earlier in this season. Let's discuss the next game. That game will take place 3 days from now, so the team gets 2 days off. It will take place against the Detroit Pistons in Detroit, Michigan on Friday, March 25th here in the United States. The game will take place 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That means the game will take place on Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 a.m. in Taipei, Taiwan, and throughout China. And as a note, that game will be shown on NBA television. So that's basically national television here in the USA, even though not everybody gets NBA television in their cable provider systems. I know I don't. But I know a number of other people who don't as well. Looks like the NBA has put Charlotte in 2 more games here down the stretch than they were supposed to be in. Really, the only national game that Charlotte was going to play in this year was the final game of the regular season on ESPN. But now they've got this. They had the NBA TV game yesterday against the Spurs. Now they've got NBA TV game on this upcoming Friday, and they've got another NBA TV game scheduled on Sunday, April 10th. And my guess is that if they keep winning like they are winning now, they're going to have even more national TV games. I mean, you're talking about potentially the third best team in the Eastern Conference. They should be on TV, and people should be able to see them. Certainly more people are talking about this team now than were a month ago. And it's like I said, if you win, everything works out. Everything will come to you. You'll get all the notoriety and everything that you want. And look, I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for Jeremy. I'm happy for Coach Clifford. I know not everybody agrees. We don't all agree with everything Clifford does. I think Clifford is an outstanding basketball coach. I think his basic philosophies and approach to the game are terrific. I really do. Just listening to him and pre games and post games and everything, I think he's got a great mind for the game and a good temperament for the game. I'm eager to hear what he says after tonight's game. I'm eager to hear what Jeremy says after tonight's game because he was a very big part of this win, maybe the biggest part. So that is it for now. Thumbs up, thumbs down, your comments below. We want to thank Gary Chen for the artwork you're looking at right now. Gary is a member of the Jeremy Only Lynn Garden fan group. You can learn more about Gary and about Jeremy Only Lynn Garden if you follow the information for them in the video description below the video player. Also in the video description, you'll find information for highlights of this game. Finally, there you will find information about how you can come and follow us on Twitter and how you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group as well. We'd love to have you at both of those avenues if you can do that. Once again, I'm PFE Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. It's just a great night. The team's playing so well right now. It's just fun to watch. And like I said, there are no negatives. Jeremy played the third most minutes on the team tonight. Nick Batum, 39 minutes. Kemba Walker, 37 minutes. JLin, 30 minutes. And look, Clifford has a tough decision. And Courtney Lee is playing great recently. He really is playing well. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong with Courtney Lee or JLin. And that's what's so nice with this team. I give a whole bunch of credit to GM Rich Cho for picking up Courtney Lee because, boy, has that move paid off well. And Courtney he's a terrific addition to the team. And he really helps round out their rotation. And Clifford likes using a 9-man rotation. But even when one of those 9 men goes down, like Marvin Williams did tonight, you slip in Spencer Hawes and he produces for you. So the depth of this team is impressive. Really impressive. And, of course, we're not even talking about Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. So let's just keep it going. Let's enjoy the win tonight. And let's move on to Detroit on Friday and see if we can get another win. Detroit's a good team. They're fighting for their playoff lives, I believe, right now. I think their record is a little worse than what you'd expect it to be, but they're very good. And they need to win. So that should be a very interesting game coming up on Friday. Hope you're having a great night or great day yourself, wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care. We will talk to you again, hopefully in just a couple of days, as Hornets versus Pistons from Detroit, Michigan on Friday, March 25th here in the United States.